welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm Desra, and today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be looking at Reddit and rating the advice that it gives me regarding dating. Reddit is such a popular forum now where like people like a popular form of interaction where like people just post things and like you can be like you can be completely random posting this and so many people respond and it's like a little community. And so I just want to like rate some of the advice that it gives online. I thought about doing like a dating advice video myself, but then I'm like, okay, I personally don't feel ready to give dating advice out. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years, but I just don't feel ready yet because I feel like dating advice really depends on like situations and scenarios. So instead I wanted to like rate the advice that's online first. So yeah, we're gonna get started. Okay, number 1. When you're in a relationship, don't be afraid of speaking your mind about problems. It doesn't make you the bad guy. Okay, I agree to a certain extent. I guess I should relate these to me personally first. Personally, I feel like people use that, oh, speak your mind thing, speak your mind, as a means to be mean. I don't like that. Like, just because I told you to speak your mind and communicate with me doesn't mean you can go ahead and like communicate in a way that's like not acceptable. I definitely think it's not what you say, it's how you say it. When did my nail break? That literally just happened, I swear. When did this nail break? Okay, going back to the video. I really am a person that's like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So speak your mind about problems, but also know when to hold your freaking peace. Some things aren't that serious. I had to learn that. I'm still learning that to this day. To this day. I'm still learning that to hold my peace. It's not that serious. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because I know he does. I know like my partner does that a lot. Like where he's like, you don't think this bothered me? I just didn't say anything because it's just not worth the argument. It's not worth, like, it's not something you need to fix. It just bothered me a little bit, you know? I think I can turn into Kayla. I could be a complainer. Sometimes.
She's a complainer.
So just balance it. Speak your minds, but some things aren't that serious. And it doesn't make you the bad guy to speak your mind. It's how you say it, how you present the problem that makes you a bad guy. Keep that in mind. Okay. Words don't mean anything. He/she might say the nicest things ever, but don't think it means anything until they show action. 100% agree with that. I'm a big action person. Like my love languages are acts of service, quality time, and like gift giving. Yeah, so words of affirmation aren't even there. Like your words mean nothing to me personally. I know on the opposite end of the spectrum, like my boyfriend, he loves words of affirmation. He gives them. I'm like, okay, thanks. That's so nice. Like they're not needed for me to float my boat, but yeah, I do think sometimes like men think them saying something means they did it and completed it, where it's like, no, you still have to follow through on this action. Okay, you guys, I'm back. My phone was about to die. I didn't have any storage. A lot of things are happening, but I want to keep going. I made myself a chai latte in the meantime. So yeah, I'm just go ahead onto the next point because I don't know why everything is malfunctioning. Ooh, I think I like this one. People will disappoint you when you don't expect it. It will happen throughout your entire dating life, and if you can't figure out why they did, there's a fairly reasonable chance it isn't your fault. I'm not even sure if I know how to feel about that. People will disappoint you when you don't expect it. That's a given, I feel like. It will happen throughout your entire dating life, and if you can't figure out why they did it, to feel a reason chance it isn't. Oh, I think it's kind of speaking on like the things that we can't see that affect a person, as in I'm acting really insecure in a relationship because my past dude kind of cheated on me and did this, did these horrible things to me. Just the things that people carry on their shoulders that you can't see, and it's not really, sometimes people aren't reacting to you, they're reacting to like their past trauma, taking it out on you. I think that's kind of what it's talking about, and I like that a lot, actually. Remember that your significant other isn't perfect. They may seem perfect, but they're human just like you. They're gonna have their bad days when they see something they don't mean. There's going to be fights. You'll never be able to be 100% happy until you realize that at some point they are going to disappoint you. It's inevitable. You just have to be able to communicate your problems. Preaching. What's his thing? Preach. They just preached. Everyone's gonna hurt you. You just gotta find out who's worth hurting for. You know, everyone was like, well, it's so true. Like, this person, they're a person just like you. And I always say, extend the same amount of grace you want to be extended back to you. You can expect people to be perfect because they're not going to. If you want someone perfect, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. Or here's the funny part, that perfect person's gonna come along. There's no such thing, but let's just say that perfect person's gonna come along and then they're gonna leave you because you're not perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. And so you just can't expect people to be perfect. I know it's like easier said than done. Because sometimes, to me, some things are just like a given. Like, why would you do that? You didn't know that was going to upset me. Like, obviously that's going to upset me. Some things are just a given to me, but people really aren't perfect. And you have to communicate that to them. How are you supposed to know this is going to upset me if I didn't tell you? People weren't raised the same. People don't have the same standards. You have to communicate and you have to extend grace. You'll meet someone you least expected. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. See, stuff like this, like never send a second text after a non-response. Your time is valuable. Don't waste it on people who don't value you. I think it depends. Sometimes I'm really just busy. I'm just busy sometimes. I am a fond believer of like, you make time for things that matter. And if you're not making the time for me, I don't matter to you personally. But then on the other hand, I am a horrible texter. Call me. I'm a horrible texter. So I think it really is like it's tricky. Know your person. Know who you're dealing with, kind of, you know. I also feel like I said, it's just tricky to me. I don't like, texting to me is like talking. Like, it's all talk type of thing. Make time to see me. Make time to set up this date. I'm not going to be texting you for 2 months, you know. I know that's not what they're saying, but I just feel like it gets a little tricky personally with texting. But don't chase. I think there's a difference between like texting twice and chasing someone. I'm never going to chase somebody. I'm not chasing you. I'm the prize, personally. I'm not chasing you. But texting a second time doesn't always mean like, you know, maybe they didn't see it. Maybe their phone died. Maybe they've been like in their head recently with mental stuff and they made a mental check to respond and they didn't. I mean, I would hope that they went back and was like, oh shoot, I haven't talked to Desiree, let me text her. Oh, she texted me, let me text her back. But sometimes things just happen. Once you get older, I feel like you realize that. Yeah, I feel like you realize that once you get older. You're allowed to say no without explanation. Yes and no. And I'm going to tell you why I say yes and no. Personally, I know my partner. He knows me. If you're saying no, I do want to know why, because a lot of times your actions affect me as well. And it also needs to know like what's going on with you. No, Desiree, we can't go here. We can't do this. Okay, why? Like, I feel like not telling me a reason why is like treating me like a child. I think it's different when it's like friendships, sort of, kind of, or like in the workplace. No, I can't come to this event because I said I can't. But when it's with your partner, I feel like it's a little different, where you should feel like, I hate using the word "oh" because it has such a negative connotation, but I think my partner does owe me some type of explanation. I owe you some type of explanation. That's just part of how like we care for each other, and we check in and just communicate that with me. No, I can't. I'm not doing this. Okay, well, why? What's the reason? Or it's like I said, it's how you say it, not what you say. Instead of being like, I don't want to. Oh, Desiree, I just needed time alone to decompress today. I just don't have that in my mental withband right now to do. cool, thank you for notifying me, thank you for telling me. But just saying no without an explanation seems a little harsh to me, and I feel like that's not how partnerships work. That's how like dictatorships work. So I'm gonna say no to that set of advice when it comes to dating, but you can implement that in other places. Pick cheap first dates. I don't pick out dates, so I guess that goes to the guys. How does that pan out for you? Let me know down below. Do you have more successful dates when it's cheap? When it's a cheap first date, do you have more successful dates when you kind of go all out and spend money? Let me know down below. Are worse things than being alone? That's good. That's good, and I wish people will pay attention to that. There are worse things than being alone. Being alone is not the worst thing ever. You know what's worse than being alone to me? Being with someone who abuses me mentally, physically, who doesn't support me, who drags me down with them, who I can't rely on, who's reliant on me, those are worse than being alone. Just because you have someone doesn't mean it's healthy. Yeah, would you rather be broken with someone or be healthy alone? Personally, you know, and it's way easier said than done. We're humans. We're made to be in community with one another, to be in community with one another, and we're just social creatures. But when it's harming you, I think you should let it go and find better. Like I'm not gonna say like be alone, because I don't know if I struggle with being alone. That's one of my things I'm working on, but I definitely think it's find better. You know, find better. Okay, I like this one. This is more like on a lighter note, I guess, if you think so. If you're a guy, you're selling a product, take a look at yourself. Would you buy it? I think that's hard. First off, I don't like that if you're a guy, because women have to bring stuff. I hate bringing to the table, you know, because as a woman, I am the table, but I do contribute to my relationship and I do better my man. But the same thing goes for him. So just if you're coming into a relationship, let's just say that, take a look at what you're bringing to it. Would your younger self, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Would you be okay with your son or daughter dating someone like you? That's how I like to ask it, you know? Would I be okay with how I'm treating my man if my son got into a relationship with someone like me? Would I be proud? Would I be worried for her? Would I want him to find better? Think about that personally. Like, take a look at who you are and how you're conveying this to this other person, how you're treating this other person, and would you accept the treatment that you give to this person? I get attitudes, I should say. Would I be okay with my son dating someone who's constantly catching attitudes? Probably not. Like, no one wants all that negativity, and that's why I'm trying to work on that. But like, would I be okay with that? No. So let's fix this product. I'm not a product, but you know, let's fix that characteristic of myself. Let's better that characteristic so I can better it in my relationship, and work to be someone that I would be okay with my son dating. Take that. And vice versa. Men too, you know. Would you be okay with your daughter dating someone like you? Would you be okay with her dating someone who doesn't bring her flowers every week? No? Then maybe you should be doing that with your wife, with your woman, things like that. Keep in mind. And I think that's where I'm going to stop. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your dating tips down below. And if you think what do you think about my takes on them? If you think these are good. If you think this advice is good in general, like I said, this is all from Reddit, just kind of exploring the forum a little bit more. And yeah, peace out. I'll see you guys next video.